Did you know that nature has some of the strangest animals? There are frogs with see-through bodies, fish that walk on the ocean floor, and glowing sea creatures that light up the deep sea. These weird creatures are real. Get ready to discover the most mysterious wonders of nature. Okay, let's start with something straight out of a sci-fi movie. A frog with see-through skin. That's right. The glass frog is so transparent that you can literally see its heart beating and its stomach digesting food. Found in the rainforests of Costa Rica and Panama, these frogs look like something you'd expect to find in a magic land. These tiny frogs, some are less than an inch long, live high up in the trees. Their skin is bright green on top, helping them blend in with the leaves, but their belly is like clear glass, showing their organs. How crazy is that? What's even wilder is that the males stay behind to guard the eggs after the females lay them on leaves above streams. When the eggs hatch, the tadpoles fall straight into the water below. It's like nature's very own mini water slide. Glass frogs aren't endangered, but their rainforest homes are being chopped down, which is super worrying. They mainly eat insects, which they hunt at night, hopping from leaf to leaf. Now, let's turn up the volume with the lyrebird, the best mimic in the animal kingdom. Imagine walking through the forest and suddenly hearing a chainsaw, camera clicking, or even a crying baby, but there's no one around. That's when you know a lyrebird is nearby, showing off its incredible sound copying skills. These birds from Australia can copy almost any sound they hear. Seriously, they can even imitate car alarms and video game noises. It's like having a forest filled with pranksters. Male lyrebirds also have these amazing tail feathers shaped like a lyre, a musical instrument, which they fan out when they perform their incredible sound shows. It's like the bird is putting on a concert just for you. They live in the rainforests of Queensland and New South Wales and spend their time eating insects, frogs, and small creatures on the forest floor. Lyrebirds are pretty tough, but their homes are being destroyed by logging and wildfires, which is bad news for them. From the forest soundtracks of Australia, let's dive deep into the lakes of Mexico, where we meet an amphibian that looks more like a whimsical creature from a fantasy tale than an actual animal. Meet the axolotl, which could easily win an award for the most unique regeneration abilities in nature. With its feathery external gills and wide smile, the axolotl stays in its juvenile form throughout its life, a phenomenon known as neoteny, a condition where an animal retains its juvenile features as an adult. Rather than transitioning into adulthood like most amphibians, the axolotl keeps its youthful appearance, complete with gills sprouting from its head. It may look delicate, but this creature has some amazing superpowers. It can regenerate entire limbs and even parts of its heart and brain. Talk about a real-life superhero. Despite its remarkable abilities, the axolotl is critically endangered due to habitat loss and pollution in its natural environment. They are native to lakes like Lake Xochimilco in Mexico, but these habitats are rapidly shrinking. Unlike most amphibians that leave the water as adults, axolotls live their entire lives underwater, making them truly unique. Though they may seem fragile with their odd, smiling faces, axolotls are peaceful creatures that spend their time floating around, hunting small prey like worms and insects, and defying the normal rules of aging and growth. Now, from the watery depths, let's soar into the trees with sugar gliders. Tiny animals that can glide through the air like superheroes. These cute little creatures live in Australia and Indonesia and have a special membrane of skin between their arms and legs that acts like wings, allowing them to soar from tree to tree. They're like tiny flying possums. What's even crazier is that they love sugary foods like nectar and tree sap, hence their sweet name. They use their big eyes to spot food at night, gliding up to 150 feet in one jump. That's almost half the length of a football field. Sugar gliders live in groups called colonies, and they love to cuddle together for warmth. They're not endangered, but habitat loss and the illegal pet trade are starting to put pressure on their populations. Let's take a dip into the ocean next, but don't expect to swim with this fish, because it walks. Meet the Redlipped Batfish, a creature so bizarre that it struts along the ocean floor like it's out for a stroll. Found around the Galapagos Islands, this fish is famous for its bright red lips. But the really crazy part? It doesn't swim very well. Instead, it walks on its fins across the ocean floor, searching for small fish and crustaceans to eat. It's like the underwater world's strangest walker. Though they aren't endangered, the red-lipped batfish are rarely seen because they live in the deep waters around the Galapagos Islands. They're one of the most unique fish in the ocean. From the ocean floor, let's head back to land for one of the smallest and most adorable animals on the planet, the pink fairy armadillo. Imagine an armadillo with a bright pink shell, no bigger than a smartphone, that spends its life burrowing through the sand. Found in the sandy plains of central Argentina, this little guy is often called a sand swimmer because it can dig through the sand as fast as a fish swims through water. The pink shell helps it control its body temperature, and it's so small that it could easily fit in your hand. Sadly, pink fairy armadillos are vulnerable to habitat loss and are often threatened by farming activities. They mainly eat ants and insects, using their strong claws to dig through the soil in search of food. Now, let's dive back into the water, but this time to meet one of the best masters of disguise in the ocean, the Leafy Sea Dragon. This amazing sea creature, found off the coasts of southern and western Australia, looks exactly like a floating piece of seaweed. If you didn't know better, you might think it was just another plant swaying in the current. With its leaf-like appendages, the leafy sea dragon is almost invisible to predators. But don't be fooled by its delicate appearance. This little creature is a fierce hunter, feeding on small crustaceans and plankton. Leafy sea dragons are related to seahorses, and although they aren't officially endangered, they are vulnerable to habitat destruction. These beautiful creatures are protected in Australia, making them a real treasure of the ocean. From hidden dragons of the ocean to glowing pens, let's meet the sea pen, a creature that lights up like a neon sign. Found on the seafloor from Alaska to California, the sea pen looks like an old-fashioned quill pen, but when it's disturbed, it glows with a bright greenish light. It's like an underwater light show. Sea pens are actually colonies of tiny polyps working together to survive. Some polyps catch food like plankton, while others reproduce. These glowing creatures are preyed upon by sea stars and other marine animals, but their light-up defense helps keep enemies away. Finally, let's wrap up with an animal that's just as adorable as it is nimble. The coatimundi. Related to raccoons, these curious animals are found throughout Central and South America. What makes them so special? Well, they can rotate their ankles 60 degrees, which helps them climb trees and explore like little acrobats. Coatimundus are super social and live in large groups called bands. They spend their days climbing trees and foraging for fruits, insects, and small animals. While they're not endangered, habitat destruction has reduced their population in some areas. Now, let's climb the mountains of Central Asia to meet the Maror, a wild goat with the most stunning spiral-shaped horns you've ever seen. These majestic animals live in the rugged mountains of Pakistan and Afghanistan, and their horns can grow up to 5 feet long. But these aren't just any goats. Marors are incredible climbers, scaling steep mountain slopes like it's no big deal. They eat grass, shrubs, and other plants found in their high-altitude homes. Unfortunately, these beautiful creatures are endangered due to hunting and habitat loss. Conservation efforts are helping, but they still need our protection. These incredible animals show just how diverse and amazing life on Earth can be. Which one of these animals blew your mind the most? Let us know in the comments.